Nobody's ever accused Jagmeet Singh of being economically literate, but in a recent interview, boy, did he let his stupidity shine. This is one of those gems you'll only find on the internet. The amazing Zoltan on Twitter put this one out there. This is, how do you make housing more affordable, asked a reporter. By just making 100% of the housing affordable. I'm not kidding. This is actually the thoughts of a grown adult human being, not just in Canada, but who's also part of running Canada.
About 411 homes, only 13% of them are affordable. And this is on public land. So they're using public land to build homes, which is a great idea, but only 13% are affordable.
So then what do you want them to do differently?
We want 100% of the homes to be affordable. If you're going to build land or build home on public land, every single one of them should be affordable.
How can they do that and do it quickly? Because we are not heading for a crisis, we're in a crisis.
100%. But I've spoken to a lot of people who told me, if you build a whole bunch more luxury homes or luxury condos, that's not going to help me out right now because I can't afford those luxury condos. So if we're going to use our public land, we should use every square foot of public land to be public land that's used for affordable homes. And that affordability has to be a big factor. The people I spoke to tell me we need it to be affordable, something that we can actually manage to afford to buy or to rent.
So then what needs to be in place in order to make that stipulation? Because developers are going to develop things that are going to give them profit. That's how that goes.
Right, so it's the requirement of affordability. There can be funding to make that, to achieve that. There could be incentives to achieve that. But the definition for the land that's being developed, if you want to use public land, the requirement has to be we'll provide this public land, we'll provide incentives, but the outcome has to be that the project that's being built has to be affordable or we're not going to support it.
It just has to be affordable. You just got to, by decree, make it affordable. We're in the biggest housing bubble the world has ever seen here in Canada right now. We're talking about homes that are like tiny little homes in Toronto worth over $2 million. We're talking in Vancouver where you can't even get into the single dwelling for less than a few $1 million. And even the outskirts. I live in a small town where you can't buy a single dwelling house for less than $1.5 million. Even townhouses are going for nearly $1 million. And some of them actually more than $1 million. But what are we just gonna, the new ones we make, are we just gonna make them more affordable? How are we gonna do that? Perhaps we should talk to the guys who are building the homes or where they're getting their stuff. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Home Depot guy, could you stop selling me those expensive boards? Could I possibly get some more of those reasonable boards? Oh, you don't stock them. Oh, maybe I should talk to the sawmill guy. Hey, sawmill guy. You know, the lumber is just getting really expensive. I think you should just start making cheaper boards. How about more reasonable, affordable lumber? Oh, well, it's not really up to you. Oh, okay. Mr. Faller, hey, would you stop cutting down those expensive luxury trees? How about we get our hands on some of those affordable trees? Why don't you start finding some of those in the forest and cut them down? And while we're at it, hey, Mr. Potato Farmer, stop picking those luxury expensive potatoes. I think we should make a stipulation that the potatoes that you pick out of the ground should all be reasonable potatoes. You know, food's getting really expensive these days. And hey, you mother cow, you know, can we get you to maybe have some more reasonably priced babies? It seems that you only keep having those luxury calves. You know, people are getting hungry over here. I don't know if we can reasonably do this. If this sounds ridiculous, it absolutely is. This is Jagmeet Singh. This is a gem. This is so beautiful that he actually thinks that you could just make things reasonably priced in this economy, like as if you could just make houses affordable because you only make affordable houses. I'm not kidding. This is the words that came out of this guy's mouth, and he doubles down. I mean, this poor reporter trying to make sense of what he's actually saying as he's saying it. She brings up the economy to maybe spark some sort of reality in his head, but I don't know if it goes very well.
Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem said in October the government's current spending plans, are his words, were not helpful for fighting inflation. How do you think you can accomplish your goals on housing and pharmacare without also increasing inflation?
That's a really important question. One of the things we noticed is that the inflation that we're experiencing, a major driver is actually the cost of housing. If you look at the breakdown, it's groceries is one big factor, and the other factor is the cost of housing.
So we just need to make them more affordable. Is that what you're going to tell me? Is that what you're going to tell me? Is that all you got to do is just start selling cheaper houses?
Building homes that people can afford is actually going to fight inflation. If we can bring down the cost for rent, the cost to own a home, that's one of the right now major drivers of inflation. So that type of investment is non-inflationary. It's actually going to bring down inflation.
Just decree that houses need to be cheap in the future. This is the guy who wants to be prime minister one day. Let's all be very thankful that that's never gonna happen. But the guy who will become prime minister one day, he did put out a documentary called Housing Hell. And this is, I'll give you a quick blurb of it from the beginning, but it's a 15-minute video. I'll leave a link in the description down below. You definitely need to check this out because this is really important.
Something new and strange has happened in Canada.
Canada is sitting on probably one of the largest housing bubbles of all times.
Something we haven't seen before. An entire generation of youth now say they will never be able to afford a home. This is not normal.
No, this is not normal. And we're not going to get out of this situation by just making houses more affordable, just by saying that. Oh goodness, this is crazy. But what's even crazier is Freeland, the finance minister, who's largely put us in this whole situation that we're in. Pierre Poilievre pointing out that Sunday night laugh for all of you guys. This was from the other night. Freeland just replied to my groundbreaking Housing Hell documentary with a tweet about her inflationary budget. Everyone howled with laughter. So she deleted it. So this is just a screen cap of her tweet. This is obviously his tweet showcasing his documentary that he put out, which of course, again, link in the description down below. Here's what a plan looks like to build more homes faster. I mean, they've had 8 years to do that. They have this really awful budget that's really gonna exacerbate the whole situation with the new measures that they're putting in place to just ignore when people are renewing, the lenders are just going to be able to skirt it along, ignore that. We're just going to increase the amortization rates of mortgages. This is really, really a crazy scenario that we're living in, and this is the intelligence level that we have in our country. I mean, seriously. I mean, at least one guy, Pierre Poilievre, is talking about the economy in a realistic way. Let's hope what he has in store, what his plans are actually going to do something, or he's actually going to follow through with that. The action that needs to be taken to right this economy and bring investment back to our country so we'll have an economy once again. But hey, I'll leave this one for you guys. This is just mind-blowing for me to hear somebody, an adult human being, say such idiotic things like someone who's actually running the country. I know there are idiots all over the place, but someone in the position that he's in to say, we're just going to make houses affordable by telling people to make the houses affordable when they're building them. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about that, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.